What's up everyone, Justin Graver here again with another breakdown for the Music City Audible, and today I want to look at the various Titans blitz packages they pulled out last weekend to get after Joe Burrow. In total, the Titans blitzed 10 times on 35 dropbacks, and by my count they used 6 different blitz packages out of 3 different personnel alignments, plus 3 more plays where they blitzed the nickel but dropped the defensive end into coverage, so technically only a 4-man pressure and not actually a blitz. In this video, I'm going to break down 6 plays from this game, looking at 6 different blitz packages they used to pressure Joe Burrow, so let's get into it. Alright, this first one we're going to look at here came on the Bengals' second drive. It's 2nd and 3 in a 3-3 ball game. And now this one is technically not a blitz because the Titans bring Roger McCreary from the nickel spot, but they are dropping Arden Key into coverage, so it's only a 4-man pressure. But still, I want to dive into this look because the Titans used this 3 times in the opening quarter of the game, and then we didn't see it again for the rest of the game. This was the second time the Titans had run this sort of blitzing play, although again, it's not technically a blitz. They did it on the Bengals' first drive, and they pull it out again here. So let's take a look at it. So this is a 4-2-5 alignment for the Titans defense here. And what I mean by that is you got 4 defensive linemen, 2 linebackers, and 5 defensive backs. So 4-2-5. This is pretty typical for the Titans, especially in their nickel personnel. It allows them to get Roger McCreary on the field. He's that 5th DB. He's the nickel. And this is pretty much the Titans' base defense. Now, when people refer to base defense, they typically mean 4 down linemen, 3 linebackers, and 4 defensive backs. But in today's modern NFL, with 11 personnel and defenses matching those multiple wide receiver looks, we typically see a lot more of this nickel package than the base defense. So although this isn't really the base defense, it kind of is. And what we see here is we got Jamar Chase lined up in the backfield, motioning out here into the flat. And the rest of these routes, they're pretty much irrelevant to the play because this is a designed quick hitter intended to get the ball out of Joe Burrow's hands almost immediately into Chase out in the flat with blockers in front, try to get him to pick up some yards after catch here and see if they can create a big play without having to attack down the field. The Titans are in zone coverage on the back end here, so you'll see these defensive backs flowing backwards as they try to get into their zones. Looks like cover 3. Hard to tell really what it is because the pass comes out so quickly. We don't get a real chance to see what this coverage is evolving into on the back end. But again, you got zone coverage here. Roger McCreary blitzing off the nickel spot. Arden Key here dropping into coverage. So a 4-man pressure. Again, it's not technically a blitz, but it's a fun rush package, so I wanted to take a look at it. And we'll see how McCreary's blitz impacts this throw. We can take a look at it from the end zone camera angle too. Joe Burrow gets the ball, immediately turns to fire outside. Like I said, designed quick hitter. And the ball is just a little wide of Chase. If we go back to the all-22 angle here, we can see how McCreary affects this throw. Again, here's McCreary quickly rushing off the edge, gets his hands up in this passing lane as Burrow tries to get it outside to Chase, leaking out into the flat here. Starting in the backfield, motioning out. So here Burrow is ready to fire, but McCreary is getting his hands up, and the ball just goes a little wide. Chase can't bring it in. Pass falls incomplete, which brings up 3rd and 3. The Titans were able to get the stop on the next play, but McCreary was called for defensive holding, resulting in an automatic first down. But still, this package was effective. The Titans would go on to run it, like I said, one more time in this game just a couple plays later. So like I said, we saw this type of blitz rush from the Titans 3 times in the opening quarter, and then we didn't see it again for the rest of the game. One more time from this angle, McCreary flies in from the right side of your screen, and Chase can't bring the ball in. All right, let's move on to the next play here. This is a few plays later on the same drive, and this time we have what's called a green dog blitz from the Mike linebacker, which is Azeez Al-Shire. Again, it's a 4-2-5 alignment, same personnel we saw on the last play with 4 defensive linemen, 2 linebackers, and 5 DBs. So like I said, Azeez Al-Shire is the Mike linebacker on this play. You have the 4 defensive linemen who are all rushing this time, so this one qualifies as a blitz because you got 5 men in the pressure. On the back end, it's a cover 2 zone, so Kevin Byard's got this deep half, Monty Hooker's got this deep half. The rest of these players are in zone coverage underneath. And what I mean by a green dog blitz from Azeez Al-Shire is his assignment here is to cover the running back, Joe Mixon. So when he sees Mixon come up to take this fake handoff and then stay in to protect, once Mixon has declared himself essentially as a protector on this play, part of the pass protection and not a receiver on a route, Azeez Al-Shire has the green light, again, the green dog blitz is what they call it, to get after Burrow and the quarterback. You're just going to see him loop around the end of this offensive line and get to Burrow. Nearly force a strip sack here as he gets to Burrow, coming around the edge, gets to Burrow right as he's throwing the ball. Ball flies up in the air, but we can really see what he's doing here if we watch this one more time. Now that we know his responsibility is the running back, so watch, he comes up to the line of scrimmage. Not sure if the running back, Joe Mixon's going to leak out into a route. Mixon stays in to protect, so Alshire has the green light to go after Burrow. This play could have been called a strip sack, but I do think they made the right call overturning this to an incomplete pass. Can see the ball is still in Burrow's grasp when he lets it go. It's a lot different to me from the Derek Carr play in week 1 where the ball was actually knocked out of Carr's hand and then he pushed it forward. This time, it does appear that Burrow is throwing the ball just as he's getting hit. And Alshire gets there on that green dog blitz, so a good play call from the Titans here, getting pressure. Take a look at it one more time from this angle. Here's Alshire in the middle, gonna come up to the line of scrimmage when he sees Mixon coming up. Recognizing that Mixon stays in the backfield, Alshire is just gonna come around the right side of the line here and get to Joe Burrow. Now I wanna take a look at this one more time from the all-22 angle and see what the Bengals are really trying to accomplish. Because this is just a two-man route. On the top of the screen, you have T. Higgins running a deep corner route, and out of the slot here, Jamar Chase has a deep curl. Like I said, the Titans are in zone coverage here. The Bengals are in max protect. So they got 2 tight ends on the line of scrimmage here, and Joe Mixon, all involved in pass protection. That's 8 guys in the protection, plus Burrow and 2 receivers. They're trying to hit a shot down the field. And now a lot has been made about how the Bengals have been a dink and dunk offense with Joe Burrow's injury. But on this play, they're trying to go down the field, and it's just not there. Here, Burrow hits the top of his drop. He's looking downfield, and Higgins has some space here on this corner route. It would be a tight window throw with defenders underneath and over the top, but at this point, it looks like Burrow's going to have a nice pocket and an easy throw. He's going to step up here and try to deliver this down the field to Higgins. But because of the blitz call from Alshire, he's able to get to Burrow before he makes the throw. Look at this one more time, right as Burrow's about to release it. Higgins has some space. Now, Murphy Bunting's here. He could make a play on this ball, but Burrow's going to throw it up to his receiver here and give him a chance to make a contested catch, a high point play. T. Higgins is very capable of making contested catches over smaller corners. He's a big-bodied receiver, but because of this blitz, because of the green dog, Alshire could be out here on the running back. They don't need him to be because Christian Fulton in zone coverage is covering this flat, so Alshire is able to get after the quarterback here. One other thing I want to look at, just to give a shout out to Jack Gibbons. This is excellent coverage here. So Jack Gibbons' assignment, again, it's cover 2, so you got Kevin Byard up here, Amani Hooker up back here. Gibbons has this deep middle. He's responsible for any routes that might carry him up into the middle of the field. And he does an excellent job gaining depth and staying in the passing lane in front of Jamar Chase. Keep your eye on Gibbons right here on this play. So Gibbons is almost sucked forward for a second on the run fake, but he holds his ground. He doesn't come downhill. As soon as he realizes it's a pass, he's looking to gain depth. He identifies Chase in the route and comes back to cover him. Look at it. He's all over Chase. That throw is not there. Higgins might have been open, I mentioned, but Jamar Chase definitely isn't. That is excellent coverage by linebacker Jack Gibbons, who's one of Pro Football Focus's highest rated players overall as a defender so far this year. So another effective blitz. This time brings up 2nd and 5. This was 1st and 5 after an offsides penalty. And 2 plays later, the Titans ended up getting off the field, getting a sack on just a 4-man rush. So no blitz. I'm not breaking down that play, but 2 plays after this one, the Titans sacked Burrow and got off the field. Okay, moving on to the next Bengals drive here. We're under 10 minutes to go in the second quarter, still tied 3-3. This is 3rd and 5 from the Bengals' 28-yard line. Again, it's a big play. It's still 3-3 in this game. But I want to point out here, the Titans are in a different defensive package than what we saw on the first 2 plays. This is not a 4-2-5 alignment. This is a 5-1-5. What does that mean? Well, you got 5 defensive linemen here. Pretty interesting formation as it's Harold Landry, Danico Autry, Jeffrey Simmons in a stand-up sort of joker role here over the center. Arden Key is lined up as a 3-tech here between the guard and the tackle, and this is Rashad Weaver on the end here. Then you have, so those are your 5 defensive linemen. You got 1 linebacker on the field, that's Azeez Alshire, and then you have 5 defensive backs. 4 of them are in man coverage on the back end, and the 5th defensive back, Kevin Byard, is blitzing on this play. Lined up sort of as a rover here. Azeez Alshire, technically, I guess he's the Mike since he's the only linebacker on the field. And then these other 4 players are in man coverage. Now this is a zero blitz. Zero blitz means there's no safety help over the top, which means each of these 4 players are in single man-to-man coverage. Fulton down here, McCreary one-on-one with Jamar Chase, Amani Hooker's one-on-one with Tyler Boyd in the slot, and Sean Murphy-Bunting's going to pick up whichever tight end comes out of the backfield here. Technically, the Bengals have more eligible receivers on the field because each of these 2 tight ends is eligible. They have more eligible receivers on the field than the Titans have defensive backs in this coverage call because they have 7 guys rushing the quarterback, 7-man pressure here. Now, Tyler Boyd has an interesting route on this play, and he's going to be the guy Joe Burrow's trying to get the ball to. He's going to sort of come up and take his stem inside before breaking out like this. Amani Hooker in single coverage is going to come inside with Boyd's route before Boyd turns it back upfield, which leaves Hooker in a disadvantageous position here because Boyd's going to have leverage on him over the top. This play would work if the Titans didn't get home to Joe Burrow. Watch Tyler Boyd in the slot, turns his route around, and now look at that. The ball is out of Joe Burrow's hands. He's already on the ground, and Boyd has a step on Amani Hooker here. Again, this is a really difficult assignment, single coverage. Nothing against Amani Hooker that he got beat on this play. This is just pretty difficult. At the same time, Jamar Chase is running his route across here, a crossing route. He ran from his position here on the line of scrimmage, and he's got a step on Roger McCreary too. Now there's a chance that between Sean Murphy-Bunting and Roger McCreary here with the line to gain at the 33-yard line, that Chase could catch this ball and be tackled short of the sticks, but with his game-breaking ability, I wouldn't bet on that. I think the Bengals have 2 guys on this play that get open enough to convert this 3rd and 5, but because of the pressure from the Titans' defensive front, the ball falls incomplete. This is another almost strip sack as Azeez Al-Shaair again hits Joe Burrow right as he's releasing the ball. I want to take a look at the pressure now from the end zone angle. Again, I mentioned 5 defensive linemen, all coming after the quarterback, along with Azeez Al-Shaair and Kevin Byard. All these guys blitzing on this play. And pay special attention to Arden Key here, because even with only 5 guys blitzing, if these other 2 defenders, Al-Shaair and Byard, had stayed in coverage, there's a chance that Arden Key would get to Joe Burrow here. He pulls off a beautiful cross chop against the left guard. Watch him there as he brings his left arm around, chops down the punch from the guard, and then gets free. But he also opens up that hole for Kevin Byard to get in Joe Burrow's face. On the other side of the field, I don't know if the Bengals just weren't expecting all 7 guys to come. This is the only time the Titans blitzed 7 guys in this whole game. But Jeffrey Simmons commands a lot of attention, a lot of respect. We're going to see the right guard come inside to help on Jeffrey Simmons, while the right tackle is focused on Danico Autry in front of him. These 2 tight ends on the outside are both in charge of blocking Harold Landry. So we get a chip from this first tight end, and then the other tight end's going to pick him up. But because, again, this right guard is coming off to help and double team Jeffrey Simmons, it just opens the door for Azeez Al-Shaair to have a clear lane to run straight at Burrow. Because Arden Key beats the left guard on the other side, it opens the door for Kevin Byard to have a clear lane at Burrow. So we'll see once again. We'll get a great look at Tyler Boyd in this angle too. Al-Shaair just runs straight through, hits the ball, hits Burrow as he's throwing the ball. One more time, watch that right guard immediately go to double team Jeffrey Simmons while the right tackle is focused on Danico Autry. There's no one left to block Al-Shaair, so he's the first man through. Byard comes through the A-gap on the other side, and Burrow, you can see here from this angle, Tyler Boyd is breaking free in this direction, has a step, has leverage on Amani Hooker, but Burrow is being hit as he throws, so this ball has no chance to get there. Burrow, not himself, cannot evade the pressure, doesn't even try, just stands tall in the pocket and tries to deliver a pass to Boyd. And look at Boyd's reaction. He knows he was open, but the ball lands about 10 yards in front of him as the Titans get home with this blitz. So they took a gamble here on 3rd and 5, leaving all these guys in single coverage on the back end, but they came up huge with the blitz, almost forced a turnover, and were able to get off the field. Let's take a quick break here so I can remind you, if you're enjoying this video, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and check out our channel's podcast, The Music City Audible, where Justin Mello and I talk all things Titans. All right, back to the breakdown. The next play we're going to look at comes near the end of the third quarter. Titans now up 27-3 and really just trying to keep the Bengals from getting back into this game. This is a will blitz. That means Will, the weak side linebacker, is the one blitzing. That's Jack Gibbens. And the Titans actually brought Gibbens on this kind of blitz 5 times in this game, accounted for 5 of their 10 blitzes. So the other 5 blitzes, we basically only saw 1 time because like I mentioned at the top, they used 6 different blitz packages in this game. So the play we're looking at here, this is the 5th time out of 5 that they brought Gibbens on a blitz. And not only do they bring Gibbens on a blitz on this play, but Azeez Al-Shaair has another green dog read. Again, that means if Joe Mixon stays in to pass protect, Al-Shaair is meant to come after the quarterback. And we're back to that 4-2-5 alignment for the Titans. So as I broke down at the beginning, 4-2-5 alignment means we have 4 defensive linemen, 2 linebackers, and 5 defensive backs, essentially the base defense for the Titans, although most people wouldn't call this a base defense. On this one, the Titans are in man coverage on the back end with a single high safety, Amani Hooker over the top, and everyone else is in man coverage. So McCreary in the slot on Tyler Boyd, Christian Fulton outside down here, Sean Murphy-Bunting on Jamar Chase, and Kevin Byard's on the tight end. I mentioned already Azeez Al-Shaair has the running back. It's a green dog read, so if the running back stays in, Al-Shaair can go after the quarterback, and Jack Gibbens is blitzing along with the 4 defensive linemen all rushing the quarterback. On the Bengals side of things, they're trying to get this ball to Jamar Chase, who's got a deep out and up route here up the sideline. What we'll see in a second here is Joe Burrow is going to pump fake on the out, and then Chase is going to take this route upfield. But what's great about this play for the Titans is Sean Murphy-Bunting does not fall for this fake at all. He just continues to get back to cover this deep route against Chase. And although he's in good coverage, Burrow's plan is to let this one fly again, just trying to give his receiver a chance to go up and make a play on the ball. But he never gets a chance to get the ball out. We're going to take a look at the rush here from the end zone angle, because this is the play where Trevis Gipson came in on the defensive line for one of his only 3 snaps in this game. In one of those snaps, he gets to Joe Burrow and forces a strip sack fumble. So we got Rashad Weaver on one end with Trevis Gipson on the other side. Jeffrey Simmons and Tier Tart are the interior players. And again, Jack Gibbens is blitzing. Al-Shaair is going to sort of hang out, see what Joe Mixon's doing. When he sees him in protection, he's also going to blitz. But the Bengals offensive line on this one, they actually do a great job picking up the blitz. So we'll see here, there goes Gibbens flying inside, Al-Shaair also flying inside. If I pause it here, Al-Shaair is still trying to figure out what to do. He hasn't come after Burrow yet. Mixon's actually leaking out into the flat. He's going to be wide open here in a second. But when it comes to the blitz, Gibbens gets picked up, Tart gets kind of stonewalled, Simmons hasn't made much ground, and Weaver's blocked pretty well. This looks like a good pocket. But this is a case of a player just winning one-on-one, because Trevis Gipson completely abuses Orlando Brown Jr. here, puts a gorgeous rip move on him, runs the arc, and gets to Burrow. And not only does he get to Burrow, he gets to the football and knocks the ball out. And eventually Kevin Byard will come up from down here and recover the ball when he realizes that Burrow's being sacked. So we'll let this play out. There's Trevis Gipson with the rip move sack. And I'm going to play this again from the other end zone angle because I think it gives us a better look at Gibson's pass rush. So here's Gipson on the outside. He gets a great jump off the line of scrimmage, presses the tackle upfield, rips under him, runs the arc, and gets to Burrow. Let's check it out. So here, pre-snap, on the outside, great job with the hands by Trevis Gipson. You can see him, Orlando Brown Jr.'s punch there. Gipson with the outside arm takes away Brown's inside arm. And then, as Brown tries to regain strength, Gipson just continues to rip through right there. That's the rip. Gets under him. Runs the arc. It's a pretty good pocket up to this point. Burrow, again, waiting for that deep shot to Jamar Chase. We can see if we watch Burrow. Here's the pump there. So I'm going to play it forward now. Here's the pump. Trying to get Murphy-Bunting to bite on the out as Chase runs the out and up. And now as he waits for Chase to get ready, he's going to get ready to throw the ball to him. And Trevis Gipson is there to knock it out of his arms. And then there's a scrum for the ball. Somehow it pops free and Kevin Byard's able to jump on it. This looked like Burrow should have been able to recover it, but alas, the Titans take over and force a huge turnover to protect their lead. Okay, we're going to move on to the next play. 9 minutes left in the game. This is 1st and 10. Titans still holding that 27-3 lead. So at this point in the game, the goal for the Titans is don't give up any big plays. There's only 9 minutes left. They will happily allow short dink and dunk gains as long as they don't get beat over the top. They're using the clock to their advantage, knowing the Bengals really can't overcome a 24-point deficit in 9 minutes without hitting some huge explosives down the field. So this one is a double B-gap blitz with both linebackers coming after Burrow, Azeez Al-Shaair and Jack Gibbons. We're back to the 4-2-5 alignment. So 4 defensive linemen, 2 linebackers, 5 defensive backs. And we see how Burrow is ready to just get rid of the ball almost immediately. If I go back to the all-22 view of this, we can see what the Titans are doing on the back end. It's quarters coverage. So that means each of these players has a deep quarter of the field. Again, the Titans are worried about not getting beat deep. So you see these cornerbacks playing 8 to 10 yards off the line of scrimmage. That's okay. At this point in the game, like I mentioned, you just don't want to get beat deep. You will let them complete a short pass in front of you and come up and make the tackle. The goal here with this blitz, 2 linebackers blitzing the B gaps, so that's between the guard and the tackle. The goal of this play is to force Burrow to get the ball out of his hands quickly while not allowing him to throw it deep with all these guys playing so far back in coverage. So it works. The blitz comes from the 2 inside linebackers, and Burrow throws the ball immediately to Chase on the outside. Titans come up and make the tackle for a short gain, which is perfectly fine at this point in the contest. Again, the goal is to force Burrow to get the ball out quickly, come up and make a tackle, and as you can see, mission accomplished. Okay, this is the last play we're going to look at, and the reason I really want to look at this one, only 5 minutes left in the game, Titans still up by 24 points. The game is essentially over at this point as long as the Titans basically don't give up a touchdown on this play. It's also 4th down and 13, so really the game is pretty much wrapped up, but I really want to look at this one because, again, it's a different blitz look from anything else we'd seen so far in this game. It's another Mike blitz, which means middle linebacker. Azeez Al-Shaair is the blitzer on this play. But we haven't seen this alignment really from the Titans much in this game. This is a 4-1-6 alignment. So that means you have 4 defensive linemen, 1 linebacker, 4-1, and 6 defensive backs. Titans loading up the defensive backfield. Again, they don't want to get beat deep. That is the whole goal at this point in the game. And you actually have Shaheem Carter in the game as that 6th defensive back. So we'll take a look here. Al-Shaair's on a design blitz here. You can see him lining up over the guard. Interesting alignment because the Titans put 5 guys at the line of scrimmage, but Al-Shaair's a linebacker. He's not a defensive tackle. He's not a defensive end. So it's different from the 5-1-5 alignment we saw earlier in this game. It's a 4-1-6. And again, the goal is to force Burrow into a quick throw with quarters coverage on the back end. Again, trying not to get beat deep. In this one, it's not really a sack because Burrow is able to run past the line of scrimmage, but this is, if it was a sack, I would call this a coverage sack. Look how sticky the coverage is on the back end here. I'm gonna let this play out till Burrow hits the top of his drop so we can see the coverage here. None of these receivers have come out of their breaks yet because, again, it's 4th down and 13. So all these receivers are trying to run routes past the sticks. That's 13 yards down the field. Burrow steps up in the pocket. Now here, some of the receivers are starting to make their breaks, but look at this coverage. No space here. He's right on top of this route here with another defender in the middle. No space here, no space here, and another defender over the top on the backside. Titans were not going to get beat deep on this play. And this is a good job communicating here in the middle because if I take it back a little bit, you can see the outside receiver is going to break inside while the inside receiver continues up the seam. Titans don't have to pass anything off. They just have the defensive back, Hamani Hooker, carry this up the seam. Christian Fulton carries this route across the middle. And again, they have these 2 defenders over the top of everything else. So really excellent coverage. Forces Burrow to step up in the pocket. Still nothing there. Burrow is just going to try to run for this. There's no way Burrow's going to run for 13 yards with the calf injury he's dealing with at this point. So we'll take a look at this one more time. Azeez Al-Shaair blitzing, trying to run some stunts, trying to get to Burrow. They can't get to him, but because the coverage was so good on the back end, and because Burrow's not healthy enough to really move at a high level, Titans bring him down for a short gain. This was the last offensive play of the game for the Bengals, and for Joe Burrow, he never stood a chance. All right, that's it for this one. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, be sure to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel for more content like this.